I love that one, but that is the one that played last week too.
That is the one that played last week. I was thinking that maybe that's just the ProgressFest theme.
There you go.
It's the theme
I mean, it
song of
gets
the
me hype.
DrawBomb.
Makes
It
me want to
does.
do progress.
Yeah, it's like
Like,
the cyberpunk synth wave. It's the future, and the future is made with progress, and progress. What we're doing with this. Welcome to DrawBomb, folks.
that's exactly where my mind went too.
Wow. Um,
Wow.
Yippee! It's another episode of DrawBomb. Welcome, 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 folks. It's that show where we draw stuff and then I just yabber for like 2 hours. Um, so welcome. How's it going? I'm
Are you
saying that to
asking me
you
or
now.
them?
I'm asking you now because they
Oh,
can't
okay.
respond.
Okay.
So, like, you can
Sure,
respond in the
sure,
chat,
sure.
but Brandon mostly. I'm mostly interested in the response from him at the moment.
I get priority.
Yeah.
It's going great. I'm
Stunning
good.
answer from Brandon. Let's move. Okay, no, sorry. Go ahead.
If you could probably do like a super cut of me saying that exact same thing every single week. Uh, things are good. I'm good.
Cool.
How about you, man?
Um,
How are you?
I'm gonna say
How
the
are
same
you?
answer I always give, which I feel like I always give, which is I can't complain. You know, I'm just doing what I do.
I bet you could if you tried.
What?
I think
Give
we
the
all
same
could.
answer? Oh, complain? Oh yeah,
Complain.
I could complain if I wanted to, but like, who wants to hear that?
Yeah, you put yourself in a little box. You claim that you're not able to do something, then it's just the wrong attitude.
Well, it's what I'm saying is socially, I feel like I can't complain because like nobody wants to hear somebody like whine for like hours on end, you know? So it's like what I'm saying is I could complain, but socially it is a faux pas to do so, and so I won't.
Sure. Okay, fair enough.
But if I could complain, hey, my fucking back, oh, it's always aching, and let me tell
my
you,
back's on the fritz.
this economy and the weather, oh boy, yeah. So, anyways,
Is the weather bad over there? I hear you guys got some floods. Is that right?
I guess there were floods. We didn't get any. I heard Vermont got it bad.
Yeah.
But we got
Okay.
a lot of rain.
I heard PA, but I didn't. I mean, it's a big state. So
Possibly parts of PA. Yeah, not for
Sure.
me personally.
There
we live
was
up on a hill.
There was pop-up rivers somewhere in your state, but where
boy.
we'll never know.
It's like a beer garden. It's a pop-up beer garden, except you can't drink the water that's there. Or
Sure,
the beer.
and you get flowed away by rushing
carried.
waters.
Now, why are the waters from Russia?
well-
What are they doing there?
It's a plot. They're interfering in our land.
Oh, yeah.
They're jealous of the land, so they decided to turn it into water.
Those darn Russian waters.
Russian water is also just straight vodka, so it's very flammable.
That's true, yeah. Brandon, it's been like a month
Yes.
since you moved into a big new house located
Sure.
at
Do you like
the
how much I
address
haven't talked
bleep, blop.
up since it happened? I talked about it every single moment for like 6 months, and now
now I forgot
I'm trying
that
not to.
I forgot that you even live in a house. That's how long it's been
There's a
since
new
you
little
talked about it.
background here. We're in a different setting than it used to be. A bed behind me and a McDonald's logo out the window. Remember
So,
that, guys?
I do
remember that?
We used to be sponsored by McDonald's until you moved away from one.
Lost that sponsorship. Lost that sponsorship, unfortunately.
Damn it, we were really thriving off of that.
Sorry,
McDonald's money.
McDonald's. Jeez.
Just in time for the grimace
Unfortunately, they
shake.
didn't give us money. They just mailed us old chicken McNuggets.
Yeah, they just gave us heart conditions.
And it was just the boot shaped ones too. It wasn't even the good ones.
How
No one likes the boot.
no one likes the boot. No one gives a shit about the boot. Get that out of here.
What, I want to eat a chicken's foot? I'm not eating a chicken's foot.
I
That's what I say.
I watched a YouTube video where somebody ate chicken feet and they got horribly sick.
Well, I mean,
just
I think they're pretty much
intensely
fed to like
ill.
dogs. You can buy chicken feet, which I'm not against because, like,
Yeah,
use
we
every
use the
part
rest of the
if you
chicken
can.
anyways. Might as well.
But it's not for like humans. It's like a dog will chew on it or something.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing.
Or
it
it's
is
a
a
toy
delicacy.
for your
in
kid you don't
some-
like.
In some cultures, people
Is it?
eat. Yeah, I mean, chicken's feet. It's like a. I don't.
I know
wanna,
people
like,
eat stuff, but I didn't know it was a delicacy.
Not. I mean, when I say delicacy, I mean More like a cultural meal, not so much a
Okay.
delicacy. For me, I said delicacy because like I guess I thought like, ooh, new and interesting. Um, but
Somebody's
so
being forced to eat chicken feet, and you're like, how
wow,
fancy of them.
they're
I'm sure
like
they
that.
love it.
I have to eat only rice all day
No
because
more
I'm
chicken
so
feet, please.
poor. Ugh, this is the only meal I can afford to subsist off of. Wow, that looks delicious. It's all I can afford to eat.
Jealous.
Oh, delicious. Oh, I wish I could have that. Um, Now that you've moved into this new house,
Yes.
what would you rate it on a scale of like on a rating system? Like, are you loving it? Are you hating it? Are you saying, give me back the old house? Like, what's the verdict?
I I love it so much. It's awesome. It I liked my old house a lot, but now that I've moved, it's making me like be like, oh, place was a piece of shit. Like I just
What?
really
I thought
like
your
it here.
place was
It's really
great.
nice. I loved my place. I'm just saying this place is such an upgrade that the other one doesn't feel as great anymore.
Oh,
But
well,
I loved my place.
I'm glad that you
I think
upgraded.
a big part of why we're kind of why I'm going lukewarm on the old place is because once we took all our stuff out of it and I got to see it one more time like empty, I was like, oh, we made it good. It's not really that. It's not.
I feel like that's every place though. Like you make
Sure.
the space. That's what feng shui is, you know. It's not like people are like, "Oh, it's this mystical energy where you put the dresser over here and it'll unlock your chakra." And it's like, "No, you put the furniture in a way that makes you feel good and that's feng shui." um
Oh.
and yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Or
Well,
you know, oftentimes they're like talking about the flow of the room like, "Oh,
it's flowy. Yeah, that's what I had always heard, but I don't know. I don't
it's
know this guy
both.
Fang.
Yeah, Fang, man, he was
Fang Shui.
Feng Shui. He was a hell of an interior decorator, let me tell you what. He wrote a great book, and now we all do follow the
I know his
methods.
sister Marie Kondo, but I've never met him. Um,
Is that
can you
racist?
scoot
Canceled?
my? I don't think so. I just meant
No,
she's also
I
like
know.
a
Okay.
organizer.
Yeah. Well, you want me to scoot your
Can you
picture?
scoot my camera over to the horse's head area,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
because I can't do that in my sail. Oh wait, I might be able to. Let me try something.
I mean, you can pan your camera. You just have to like draw in a different part of your screen then when you do that.
Sure, but I realize I'm sharing my navigator window. I'm not sharing. Nah, I mean,
Oh,
like
okay.
I'm sharing
Oh, I see what you mean.
something else. I'm
You're
gonna
share.
change the window, and then I'll be able to actually
Wow.
adjust it.
Wow. How's that? Is that better for everybody? Wow.
People like
Wow.
that. There we go. Now we're cooking with fire.
It's great. It's so much
No,
larger
I'm
and
loving it.
less
It's awesome.
pixelated. Sorry, go ahead.
I can't wait for. Well, that's good too. That's a bonus. I'm excited for you to see it at some point.
I'm excited to see it. Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to visit us.
That's
In
right.
the lovely state of PA. The address is blah 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 blah. My social security
I'll punch
number
that in.
is blah blah blah. I do actually need to send you
your
the
address.
address.
I mean, I'll probably ask just because that'll be easier, but I could look it up in like.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had to mail you things in the past.
That's true.
I could just search it in my texts.
But it is easier to bother me to ask.
Yeah, I just
When I say
just
bother,
make
I
you
don't.
like my search function. I did that to you today instead of just googling something
That's
that I
true.
could have probably figured out.
Yeah, but I am able
Sorry
to.
about that.
The thing is, like, you know, I miss articles. Like, I hate that everything's a fucking video because that's
They
like the
still exist.
monetizable content. Because like if you're like, oh, how do I do this thing in this program? You can't like just find an article that some website wrote and it tells you.
Will search longer because I'm not gonna watch a video 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm like the first source comes up and I'm like, no, I'm not putting my sound on. I'm not doing this shit. I just need to read something real quick. Like
Yeah.
I'm usually like, I don't know. So I always look further until I find one that is just written out. Cause I'm like, no, I'm not. Like maybe I'm somewhere where I don't have my sound on or whatever. I'm just like, How am I supposed to research this thing?
It also, so here's the thing. I understand why to make a video. Like, number one, it's monetizable. Number two, it's easier to post a video on a YouTube account than it is to like get a website and then write an article.
Sure.
But still fucking annoying. Like, I read so much faster than there are so many YouTube videos where it's just like, hi you guys, how's it going? Back at it once again with another tech tips for you, buddy boy. That's the name of the channel. What we do with this channel is, and it's already been like 30 seconds and I haven't even heard them mention the problem worst. I'm trying to get fixed, you know?
Have you ever tried to look up a recipe online?
Yes.
You ever tried to do that for yourself?
The classic, this recipe reminds me of my old days back as a child when my mother taught it to me.
When I think of mashed potatoes, I think of a Tuscan villa. The sun breaching the roof on an early morning day, the dew on the grass as the birds chirp in the trees, and you're like, fuck, teach me how to make mashed potatoes, god damn it.
Yeah, it's like they narrate like the entirety of like War and Peace, and then it's like, and finally with the last crack of the rifle, the battlefield was silent, the final drops of blood eking out of the freshly strewn corpses across the battlefield. Anyway, chop up a potato and put it in some water.
Yeah.
See you, thanks,
Crush a potato and throw some butter on it.
Yeah, that's it. And it's like, fuck, man. Like, this could have been 2 seconds. This could have been, like, there's the classic, like, with business, like, things, it's like, oh, this meeting could have been an email. It's like, this could have been a paragraph, and that's it. And
yeah.
It's the worst.
It's a very real thing. At least there's been enough, like, criticisms now that now most of the... It's still annoying. You still have to, like, do a thing, but now
Nothing's
they usually have a jump to recipe button.
They do have that. And YouTube...
That button's always there, usually.
And if you search something, YouTube has started to add a functionality where they like cut to the part of the YouTube video that actually like supposedly answers what it thinks is answering.
You could see where the most replayed, so you can see like people who have like seeked out the actual video, and you can see sections if the creator did that. Yeah, there's some things, some quality of life things, but still, it's like, come on, man, don't make me. Don't put me through this.
I'm trying to do my part, so anytime I look up a question and I do resort to watching a video for it, if the video does in fact cut straight to the chase, I will comment and thumbs up the video and say thank you for cutting straight to the chase. I will I will do the engagement and I will put that feedback out there because I'm trying to encourage that sort of
I mean, it's a win-win. It's not like those people, you can't tell me those people want to be like, they're playing the game, but they don't want to be like, yo, man, welcome to today's Tech Tip Corner. I'm your boy, Techie, and today we're going to show you. Like, just stop. Yeah. They don't want to do that. They have to do that. No one wants that.
I feel like I can hear the physical pain in them when they do that stuff, and it's... There's this one guy I watch a lot of Blend, like, even though I have not touched Blender in like months, but I watch a bunch of Blender tutorial videos on YouTube just because like while I'm working I'll have it playing, and then like I'm hopefully learning like through osmosis or just like reinforcing like good work habits for Blender when I do eventually try and crack that nut. And there's this one guy who every single video he starts and he goes, "What's up, you guys? It's the CG Essentials," and I'm just like, I hate it. Like, I know what he's doing. He's and like at this point, it's a joke for him. Like, you can tell he's doing it because it's so
that
annoying
makes it a little better. But it's still
it's. I feel like there's like, it's not explicitly made clear, but I feel like there is the subtext of some snark in that. You know what I mean? I hope so. I don't think the guy's doing it because he thinks it's actually like,
I hope so too,
not annoying. And like so many comments, like if you check his videos, like there's a lot of comments where they're like, "Hey man, can you not fucking do that thing at the beginning?
Stop doing that thing, bro."
Yeah, and I'm like, the guys, the more you comment on it, I feel like you're reinforcing it.
It'd be funny to make a channel that like actually like teaches you some really like just mundane like basic thing, but then there's some weird plot that's happening in the intros that keeps like ramping up.
Yeah, it's like there's like a
building towards something.
Like every single tutorial is actually like a step like in like this ritual to summon a demon, and so it's like when you're doing the final tutorial, okay, here's how you program your microwave. Okay, so you say you want to set the timer to like 666. We're gonna set that right now. Okay, here we go. Beep, beep.
All right, guys, smack that bell, demolish that subscribe button.
Pledge your eternal soul.
Yeah, exactly. Perform the blood ritual.
To the great
For
demon
more
Kevin.
videos like this. I can't do it without your support.
Yep, Kevin the demon will now
Just like we
feast
can't
on my...
do anything without the support of our Lord and Savior, Saturn.
I've been calling him Kevin.
Kevin the demon.
Yeah, Kevin the almighty Lord demon.
I can't say his real name, for it is in a tongue that, if spoken aloud, will deafen all who hear it. So we call him Kevin.
Yeah, that's the closest approximation we do have. Why is it like the funniest joke to me that we always use is like using a very standard normal name, like white person name, for some kind of crazy figure who wouldn't have a name like that?
I think it's funny at least to me, it's funny because it doesn't matter how well written the rest of it is. It just kind of like makes it shitty.
Yeah,
you can put all the work into it, and then
it
immediately takes you out of it.
Yeah, it sucks any seriousness out of the situation, and instead, like, it becomes a funny situation with that, you know.
Yeah,
that's
for that reason.
And it does go against I feel like a lot of the humor that we got when we were writing Waterlogged was sort of taking these expectations and then like flipping them on their head. Like, you know, we have the pirate whose name is Courtney. We have Jared the narwhal. The pirates are actually like, they have flow charts and they're actually quite nice and caring. You know, it's a lot of like taking expectations and then like flipping them. So like that was a joke we used multiple times in Waterlogged, and I feel like it was very fitting with like sort of the sort of undercurrent we sort of had going with that comic.
It also helped break the tone for us a little bit because, you know, we wrote some like action-y or like drama stuff. True. But like I don't think we feel like we're rightfully so that great at that. So it's kind of like eases the tension a bit of like still kind of dumb, even though we're trying to like write like a action scene or something.
Yeah, that is very true. And like, again, it sucks that seriousness out of the situation and instead like puts a little haha on it, you know, a little LOL in that that drama. A little cool haha. Yeah,
you know, we try to live in love, but then, you know, we try to get some laughs in there too whenever we can.
Yeah, laugh out loud. Laugh. But yeah, you say we weren't good at writing drama or action scenes, but I was told, and I did get the feedback when we were posting Waterlogged on the regs, when Amos and Manny finally came into that understanding in the jail cell, we were complimented on the quality of the writing. So I'm
hell yeah.
Hey, you know, I
take it all back. We're good.
We're good. We're gonna write it again now. Good. Waterlogged's coming back.
I stopped because I was insecure about that one scene.
Yeah, we weren't so confident on our writing abilities, so we stopped. Someday when DrawBomb, the YouTube channel, is raking in the billions, we will make the Waterlogged animated series.
There you go.
That's been the goal the whole time.
We're perfecting our animation skill right now.
That's right. Leviathan Den says, "Is this the show DrawBomb? The show filmed live in front of a studio audience?" That's right.
That's true. They're all held here against their will, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, we kind of kidnapped them.
We want to.
No, you go ahead.
We want to build up to people coming, you know, because they want to, but we haven't gotten there yet. So we do what we have to, you know.
Yeah. We found all these folks in front of Chinese theater. We just kidnapped them and then shipped them out to a combination of Michigan and Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I dressed up as a really like low budget Elmo, and that lured people in, and then I captured them.
Yeah.
So what? Been in front of Chinese theater? There's just like knockoff.
Yeah.
Characters, but the thing is, you can purchase a Spider-Man costume that actually looks like Spider-Man. Like it's almost harder to find what they have. I don't know where they find these. Like,
I think they make them like them. It's like how cosplayers make their own outfits. I think they make their own shitty, because like that's the
only explanation.
That's sort of become, I feel like, the shtick of that place is these off-brand like cosplays of sorts, which I think is a fun. It's like so much more fun to see somebody's creative endeavor. Like when you see somebody who made their own Halloween costume instead of just like having a store-bought one. It's always like so much more enjoyable and entertaining.
That's true.
And it's also because usually like a lot of times those people will be somebody who you don't normally get to see be we've talked about this before, but it's why I love Halloween, because it's like you get all these people who you normally don't get to see flex that creative muscle, and then all of a sudden in the name of like a goofy joke you get to see that a little bit. They're on board, and it's like, wow, you are actually quite good at this when you want to do it. Like it's just
I think a lot of people like to hide behind just like, oh, I can't do that stuff, and it's like, well, I mean, I'm not saying everybody's gonna it's just gonna be like effortless right off the bat, but just like anything, you know, like you the muscle you flex, it's like practice makes perfect. I mean,
the difference between
I look at
well,
I
the
don't
difference
look at
between
art any different than like somebody who like plays guitar, or like somebody who does anything, like you're a carpenter, or like anything, like you're a plumber. You gotta practice. You're not just gonna like go in there and be good.
Yeah. The difference between an artist and a non-artist is that the artist puts their stuff out there, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, not to sound pretentious, but everybody has a creative outlet. No matter, you know, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm not the guy that's like, the pipes are his canvas, but like, I'm just saying, everybody
the
has like.
Dookie is what he paints
with. And then he gets fired because they.
Why'd you paint the Mona Lisa out of shit on this customer's wall?
I need a creative outlet. What can I say?
I called the Mona Dookie.
Regardless, everybody has like this like urge to make something and then like put it out there.
Yeah.
Make something that wasn't there, or like build something or create something, or I don't know. There's that urge, whether it's cars or anything.
For some people, it's their Warhammer armies, you know. For some people, it's their Halloween costumes. You know, everyone's got that creative.
But people are like shy about it sometimes because they think they're not good. So Halloween gives everybody a reason, and then I think that breaks the ice for a lot of people to try stuff that they normally would never try.
Yeah, I think there should be more holidays like that where we encourage people to do something creative.
I mean, you know, it's popular these days to, I mean, I'm not saying it's like a new thing, but it's popular these days to like throw like a theme party, stuff
this
like
is
that.
true.
That always gets people too in the same way. Always
Absolutely.
enjoy that.
But parties are still exclusive. This is like one of those, like one of my favorite things I've ever seen. Well, I've had two great Halloween situations where I've really gotten to see like the costumes. Where the one year for Halloween, this was the year of Hurricane Sandy, I was going to a Halloween party on a friend of the show Austin's roof, and in New York City, and I got there like that day, so I was in New York Penn Station during Halloween. Let me tell you, if you go to New York Penn Station on Halloween, you will see so many people in costumes. And it's in New York, and it was like a giant crowded like train station. It was awesome because it was just there was like I saw 80 Jokers because that was like a year after Dark Knight came out or something like that.
Yeah, I mean everybody saw 80 Jokers that year, even if you weren't at Penn Station.
That's true. Yeah. So there was that, and then one time I was working when I was living in Philly, and I was working at the bank. It was Halloween as well, and I had a haircut. So I was like on one end of the city, and I lived up in the other end of the city, but I was like covering shifts for some people at this other branch. But my haircut was by where I lived, so I had to like bike across town to get to my hair appointment after my shift was over. So it was like Halloween. I was riding my bike to my hair appointment, and I got to just like see the city of Philadelphia all dressed up in costume, walking around, and that was also great. And another Batman-related costume story. I did see like a fender bender, these two, like, or the aftermath of it more like, and there was these two cars like parked over the side while they were getting like insurance information exchanged, etc., etc. And there was a woman who was dressed up as Harley Quinn, and she had like two baseball bats that she had like painted like Harley Quinn colors, and she was directing traffic with them like they were batons, you know.
That's a very Harley Quinn thing to do.
Yeah, it was a wholesome moment on Halloween that I got to experience, and yeah, I loved
It,
just riding through the city seeing people's costumes. It was super fun.
it's cool being somewhere uh like populated during
Yes.
Halloween, like
Yeah,
you're saying,
absolutely.
New York. So I was in San Diego one year, and we were
Nice.
like on this one street that's like all the bars, and it was very cool seeing all like just like literally like 1,000 people in costume.
Yeah, that is
It's
awesome.
fun. Some of my favorites. There was a group of Will Ferrell's. Like basically, they were all different Will Ferrell
Oh, nice.
characters he's played, but there was like 10 of them, and they were all like walking in a big group.
That's
I'm
phenomenal.
like, that's a fun idea.
Yeah.
I like that idea. I would like to do like a theme party that way, but like, I don't know, everybody come as a Tom Hanks or something.
Right. Yeah. Everyone has to come as a character from the Chronicles of Riddick. Actually, a Fast and the Furious theme party would be kind of very intriguing.
It would be fun.
Although, like, everyone kind of dresses up as like a person in that movie series, so it's not like you can dress up in like a car. Like, I guess you could be Vin Diesel with
you
the
can come
tank
as a
top.
car.
That's true.
You can come as Nos.
I'll come as Pete Davidson.
You could be you could be Vin Diesel's crucifix.
Yeah, there we go.
What was I gonna say? Shoot.
Oh no. Vin Diesel, Fast and Furious. I'm trying to say words that were said around the time you came up with your sentence.
Right.
Will Ferrell.
It doesn't matter, but oh, I remember now.
There we go.
So
got him.
I was
We got
at
it.
4th of July. My nephew was there, and he's like 1.5 or something. He's almost 2, but he's small and he's bald, and he had a little tank top on, and he was in his car, the little car that you can push him in, and he kept going like vroom vroom, and I'm like, can you please dress him as Dominic Toretto for Halloween? And they're like, no. And then I just kept like talking about it the whole weekend and sending them pictures of like how Dominic Toretto looks, and now it seems like they went from no to maybe.
Oh,
but I'm trying to encourage this.
you gotta, because the thing is, as was like exemplified in the newest Fast and the Furious movie, it's not about today, the people of today. It's about the future Torettos who are gonna shape the future and drift and have sick drift skills.
He's my family.
Yeah.
And I want him to be the ultimate family.
The ultimate family.
They
That's actually the plot twist that's going to happen in the last Fast and the Furious movie. Is the family that Vin Diesel was talking about, was he was actually getting the whole group of he was trying to get as many people in the family together as he could, all into like one centralized location where they would all fuse together into this horrible menagerie of flesh and bone, and form Ultra Diesel, who's just like a giant like person made of people.
So, not to I love that idea.
Kind of like Dead Space, the necromorphs, you know. But they're also part car. There's car parts in it too. It's all like flesh and cars.
Just one.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I won't spoil it, and I won't, but I was thinking the new Fast was, now don't get me wrong, it was batshit crazy, but I was expecting it to like go off the rails in some
different
wild
directions.
ways, and I was speculating for like a year or two of like, how are they going to do that? Are they going to get superpowers? Are they going to time travel? And I don't think any of this stuff's off the table yet still, but I was really sure that there were going to be some more cyborgs in the mix, because cyborgs do exist in the Fast and Furious universe. If you've seen Hobbs and Shaw,
which I have not still.
Elba, however you say it, was a cyborg man. So he's like superhuman, strong and fast, and robot man.
I mean, a lot of the technology.
No, that's it.
Was very futuristic, like that weird like medical spider that they had. There's like some straight up future tech. I mean, the door is still open. I mean, Hobbs is
I was honestly expecting in the trailer there's a scene where for the last one that's out now, there was a scene where, which now we know what it is, but there's a scene where Cypher and Letty are on like little tables in like a weird future doctor office, which is actually the scene you're talking about. But
Yeah.
I was like, from that trailer, I'm like, they're gonna be cyborgs. Those two.
They're gonna make them into
coming.
cyborgs.
It's gonna happen.
That would have been sick.
Happen. It would have been awesome.
Great.
They should have done it. That was their chance.
So I will say, this new one, they didn't seem to. They were content not to raise like up the ante. Like the last few, it's been like an escalation where like, oh, now The Rock's gonna fire a minigun at a helicopter. Oh,
right.
I forget what the last one was. Oh, and like now they're going to space, and then you would think like this next one they'd have to do something to like top it, but they were like, no, we've been to space.
I mean,
We're
I think they matched.
back.
I wouldn't say they necessarily scaled back. They're still doing crazy shit, but it wasn't necessarily
They are, yeah.
ante being upped. It was just kind of. I think their version of upping the ante was just the stakes that are revealed at the end of this, which I won't spoil, but like, it's like going to be a multi-parter and they leave you on the edge of your seat. And I think that was their version of like upping
and also
the ante a little bit.
They upped the ante in terms of celebrity cameo density, I would say. Like the amount of people who are in this movie is like, it's like every 5 minutes is like a new person that it probably cost $1 billion to get a hold of for like that 5 minutes. Which is fine, and I loved every second of the new movie. And it's interesting because like when we watched the last one, we loved it, but like the consensus of the online spaces and the reviews seemed to be like, this one's a stinker. But we
I think we agree that at least as far as the like plot went, like the story of like why, what the threat and everything, we were like there wasn't one really.
It was like
a mysterious doomsday device that
didn't
really make sense, and that was just.
It was like a shitty amorphous MacGuffin that like you didn't really know what you were doing in any particular location and like why.
You just knew it was bad, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, so I would say this new one was better because it did feel a lot more like I had a sense of direction in it. I didn't feel lost in this one as much as I did. But like
I knew what the story was, and I understood it, and it made enough sense to me.
So I can understand that with 9, but like the reviews for this one, and we liked it so much. I liked it, and I think we agreed.
I loved it.
Is an agreement. Yeah, people liked it, which is exciting to hear because I'm happy that like I don't know. It feels like when I see a movie that I very much enjoyed, and I see other people not enjoying it, I'm like, oh well, now I'm gonna see less of that movie.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Leviathan Den says, I'm still waiting for them to explore the ocean depths and have a crazy submarine Kraken Leviathan battle. My dude, there's multiple movies with a crazy submarine, like a nuclear submarine, like a giant ass one that takes like an army to operate.
In this newest one,
which I actually have questions about.
Yes, there's a lot of questions about that. In this newest one, they did end with 3 characters, one who was fresh brought back from the dead, not actually physically, but like in terms of the franchise's canon, leaving. She was
brought back from the dead, pretty much.
Yeah, she's a cyborg now. I bet you. What's her name's character is a cyborg, but
why is she helping the villain?
Why is the villain? Yeah, she's got to be helping. She's got to be like working with Cypher if she's got access to Cypher's nuclear sub.
She came to pick him up and waved all like excited to see you.
Yeah,
they're very like, and I mean I know they're trying to make Cypher family, but I don't think it's possible with things she's done.
Yeah, when
to the family,
like murdered, like when you've like straight up executed.
She directly murdered little B's mom.
Yeah.
Blasted her in the head
twice. Like he fired that gun twice in that scene. Like he was like, one shot in the head is not enough. I got this is zombie rules.
But okay, tell me if I'm wrong, and maybe you don't remember.
Okay.
Didn't the first sub blow up? You can't just get another one. Like those aren't easy to come by. Those aren't easy to come by. I thought the first one blew up. It's not the same one.
I don't think it blew up. I think they just.
Okay. Could be wrong.
Did it? Because I don't think they blew
I
up
thought
the
it did, but
sub.
I could be wrong.
I don't remember. I don't. It's you know,
I don't know.
that's not a good. Well, I mean, we all remember 8 not being a great one in the series anyway. So I mean, you know, it's fine. I don't think they blew it up though. I think Cypher got away with it, but they stopped the. No, maybe they did blow it up. I don't remember.
Leviathan Dead says, "What? Really? In Fast and Furious? What are they thinking? They're thinking about making some goddamn blockbusters.
They're making some masterpieces of cinema.
Nothing's off the table in these films.
Yeah.
I hope you understand. Anything can happen.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if a fucking mermaid was in the next one.
Yeah, like I mean, they could do like a Transformers crossover, and it wouldn't even be that like out of pocket.
That's true.
They can just do anything.
I feel like they're gonna cross over with G.I. Joe before they cross over with Transformers, and that's a weird thing to say because the two or G.I. Joe or Men in Black. I feel like Men in Black and Fast and Furious.
Wasn't there like a minute where like Men in Black was like planning multiple crossovers, and then they kind of didn't do that?
Yeah, like Men in Black 3, I think, was originally supposed to be a crossover with 21 Jump Street, like those movies, which would have actually been super fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like the
Here's
21 Jump Streets were like so meta. They were just like really meta. So I you know, it would be kind of interesting to see that same sort of like the attitude they took towards their being a reboot.
Sure.
With that. So what were we gonna say?
So here's something interesting. It's totally kind of unrelated, except for it has something to do with Men in Black. But it's something I just read this week. Did you know that despite all the like how popular it is and all that stuff, Men in Black was, and people like speculate that it's some kind of like tax scam or something. But Men in Black is technically a failure and is still losing money somehow.
As a franchise or like just the first movie?
Like the first movie. Like the film is technically like the guy who like directed is like, you can check like the stats on your film. He's like, yeah, Men in Black to this day is still losing money. I don't know how. And then some people in the chat were explaining how like some studios do this as some kind of like scam.
Like the producers?
Probably some kind of laundering thing.
Yeah,
yeah, maybe.
They have a whole web page, I think, on TV Tropes about that. It's called Hollywood Accounting, where it's like you have $500 million to make a movie, and like 300 million of it like goes missing, and you're just like, what happened? Oh,
like,
don't worry.
Shucks. I guess it was a failure. Dang.
It was just a problem with shooting, and like a movie didn't do so well in the box office. Oh boy. Yeah, it definitely sounds like straight up money laundering and some, or like just like embezzlement.
That movie got multiple sequels, and they wouldn't do that if the first one lost a bunch of money.
Yeah, there's no way. That's well, I mean, apparently you can delete a fucking TV show or movie from just like history, and you can write it off on your taxes, and that'll make you money.
Yep.
Yay! I love the media landscape. Speaking of the media landscape, Brandon, I finally finished the story of Diablo.
Oh my gosh! How did you enjoy that second cutscene? That second like real one?
The one like that's like super high rendered and like cool.
Yeah, there's two really high rendered ones in the game. There's the first one and that one. It's like honestly like I love it.
They both broke for me, so I had to watch them on YouTube.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's just like I love the game. I love Diablo 4. It's a lot of fun. It's like one of the worst functioning games I've ever tried to run on my computer. Is the only frustrating thing.
It stutters for me, and it's not because of my settings. It's just the game just stutters all the time.
I think it's partially.
I mean, you could argue that it is something to do with my settings, but I mean, what I'm saying is it's not
your
the
computer
settings that it would be. Like, you know, I can bring things down and it's still not working. It's something is not working it's not playing nice.
I think it's because like the game is just forcing you to be always online. So it's like if you have like a missed like dropout with the fucking Blizzard, and it seems like everything's on the fucking servers. Like I'll be in a cellar in that game with no one else, and like it's an instance, and I'll be like by myself, and like the fucking I'll still be being hit with lag, and it's like, okay, so are you actually like running this whole encounter on your own servers, Blizzard? This is very unoptimized. Like, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, very stupid.
But hey, if you cheated.
It's I mean, they just want to make sure that I didn't download their game improperly, like their expensive game.
Leviathan Dunn says it's poorly optimized. Yeah, it is. This is. Hey, if we're talking about video games, I highly recommend Dave the Diver. It's easily made it to my indie top 5s. Yeah, I've been playing that a little bit here and there. I think I only have like a couple hours in it or something, but I really like it too. It's fun.
Nice.
Got a lot of like mini games and good animation. The music's good and the visuals are good, and it's got kind of like nice sense of humor about itself, and I enjoyed it a lot so far.
I saw Call Me Kevin play it like back when it's still like it had released like its demo or something like that.
Okay.
And it seemed like a interesting game. It didn't seem like super my cup of tea, except for like the management game aspects, like the part where you're diving around and stuff like that. I could probably take or leave that part.
Gotcha.
But I mean, it looked like fun. And I enjoyed the art and the animation, especially like whenever you do like an upgrade or like learn a new menu item. There's like this fancy
that part's great.
Animation of the chef doing a thing, so that's cool. I've been fucking champing at the bit. I'm so ready for A, Cities Skylines 2, and B, Life by Me. I want both
5.
of those games. What was that?
I said in Sims 5.
And Sims, yeah, I'm so excited for Sims 5.
And Sims 5 expansion pack 1. And Sims 5 expansion pack 2.
I can't wait for the Sims expansion pack where I can buy the ability for it to rain outside. Yay!
Sims expansion pack where now you can buy broccoli at the grocery store. We added more groceries, specifically broccoli. Broccoli update coming soon.
I think it's fucked up that like the Sims 3 will like the Sims 3 released with like all of its expansion packs, like all 80 of them, and like they each like would add function, or some of them at least would add functionality to the game, and then you buy the Sims 4 and all that functionality is gone once again for them to release in a new like I'm so tired of that. I'm
It's fun when they put quality of life updates behind a DLC.
Yeah. Just like things that make the game like when I bought Sims 4 base game, it was like such a hollow, like I still played a shit ton of it because I love the Sims. But when I first bought Sims 4 back in 2014, I want to say, I remember buying it and being like, wow, there's not a lot going on in this game, and like kind of being disappointed because Sims 2 was a more robust experience of base game than Sims 4. And as time has gone on, where I've become more acquainted with Sims 4 as I've played it a lot more, you know how much I've played it.
I do.
I've gotten a lot of the expansion packs, and like it still feels really hollow in a lot of aspects. It still feels, I don't know, non-substantial, especially if you compare to previous titles in the series, like how 3 had all these, like, expansions, and, like, it's just base game, like, what the game is actually doing and how it functions, and then Sims 4 kind of, like, I guess in the name of, because, like, Sims 3 apparently ran like dog shit, because it was running a whole open world, and, like, everything was just one interconnected thing. Sims 4 scaled it back where it's like now it's these plots of land and there's like neighborhoods that are the maps, but it's all like segmented. It's different, and you could argue that's to make the game run better, but the game still runs like shit, and it feels like so.
Yeah, you can only make that argument if it actually does make it run better.
Yeah. So I'm excited for Life by You because I'm so excited for The Sims to finally get some competition, and Life by You looks really fun, and I just like those, you know, dollhouse sims, life simulator, whatever the fuck you want to call them, just because I like to watch the stories unfold, and I like to sort of see, it's like, you know, it's good, it makes me feel creative sometimes when I'm like making these things or watching these things happen.
Don't get yourself hurt, man. You know,
my heart's
sound an awful lot like me getting excited for Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not. I'm just happy that The Sims is getting, you know, competition at all.
Competition.
Like, yeah, like I'm excited for Life by You. I don't think it's gonna solve all of the issues, I'm sure, and especially because like I'm gonna buy it the moment like early access is available. I'm gonna get it, because I want it. But especially when
Sure,
it comes
that's a
out in
good
early
reason.
access, it's gonna be like it's not gonna be the full thing. It's gonna be probably hot garbage when it's in early access. But I'm just excited to see somebody coming to take the Sims lunch because they got too
Right.
big for their britches.
You need
and
somebody to challenge them, or else they'll just, what's the point in making something good?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited about that, and I'm also super. City Skylines 2 is gonna be everything I wanted ever, and it's gonna be.
You're like, there's no way this can fail.
I've been watching the design dev blogs on both City Skylines and Life by You, both made by the same company too. Go figure. And yeah, City Skylines 2 is gonna be so fucking good. I'm so excited.
I believe it'll be good too. Like, I mean, no, for people who like both games, just because it's very like the concept is a lot more like. I feel like it's got to be good. It can't be worse than the last one because it's like a very like quantifiable, straightforward kind of concept. It's not something that you could like drop the ball on really, unless you're like purposely trying to make a bad game.
It's not like I'm worried the storyline of City Skylines 2 isn't gonna match up with the storyline of City Skylines 1. You know?
Yeah.
And the improvements I've been seeing like in the design blogs, oh my god, they're just they've added so many changes to the game that I'm just like, yes, thank you. It's so good.
I'm excited to watch you stream this stuff. I'm probably not going to play either of those games, but I'm
definitely gonna stream.
I like that you're excited, and I've enjoyed watching you play both sim games and city management games, so I'm down.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you are enjoying that.
I'm glad that one of my favorite streamers has some new content.
Yeah. Oh, I'm afraid.
I can't wait till they make a new Doom.
Yeah, I'll still play Doom.
Actually,
I am actually excited for a new Doom
Yeah.
too. Yeah. I mean, let's not kid ourselves.
It's funny after you got into the whole not that we have to try to explain on the stream, but that whole my house thing you were explaining to me, I started to see it pop. Like, you know how like
Really?
you see something after somebody mentions it to you. I think because you're like,
I was mentioning
you
it.
pay attention instead of like scrolling past or whatever.
Yeah.
But I started to see it all over the place, so it was around. I just hadn't noticed that it was a thing.
You should watch those. I'm. If you ever got like an afternoon to kill, it's a great like the guy who made the hour-long deep dive. He really did a damn good job.
Yeah, that's probably the way I'd want to consume it.
Yeah.
I won't play it, but it'd be cool to see somebody talk about it and go through it.
There's just so many secrets in my house. There's no way I would have like found all of it like on my own. I feel like I'm not that good at finding secrets in games. Like I try, but
yeah,
it's not my. I have some people who I know who they love like finding exploits and glitches in games and like figuring out how to like, oh, I can grenade jump myself to this spot into this crack and then I'll do this, and I have no
interest in that at all.
No interest in
I can like watch someone maybe who's like already found it and is showing me like something curated, but I have no interest in like hunting for that stuff. That sounds very tedious and not fun to me.
Yeah. Leviathan Den says, sorry, Top KO, I'm almost 98% sure that if you actually pre-order Life by You off Epic Game Store, you can start early access right now. Nope. Yeah, it doesn't come out until
Ian
September. I don't trust
Ian's
me.
Like, I checked 20 minutes ago and apparently no.
I watched all of the YouTube videos the day they come out. And I pay very much close attention. Trust me, guys, I am the source of Life by You information in this room right now. I'm the source of information on both City Skylines 2 and Life by You. So
be sure to check out Ian's blog, Life by Ian, where he talks about all things Life by You. He posts 3 times a day.
I do. Yeah, no, I'm so fucking pumped for those games. This is gonna sound so lame, but in one of the most recent City Skylines videos, they were talking about the zoning, because in City Skylines, you zone areas for commercial, for residential, for industry, and then like the game builds the buildings automatically and like sort of runs those sections as that form of like development, which is nice. It's not like you have to like place individual buildings down and be like, okay, this, you don't have to like click them individually, which you can if you want. You just don't have to.
You're allowed to click.
You can click as much as you want.
You're
You don't have
allowed to click.
You're not forced to do any clickies that you don't want to. And the newest one, like the newest video where they're talking about like the zoning and stuff like that, they're like, hey, check out these different types of, now you can, like, before it was low density residential and like high density residential, where it's like apartment buildings that are huge and like sky rises, and now there's like medium density residential, which is like lesser high rise apartment buildings, which got me very excited. And then also you can now zone specific locations to be, there's a shop on the bottom floor and then there's apartments above it, so it's like a mixture of commercial and residential. And the amount of joy I got from that announcement is stupid. it's like, I didn't think that like somebody saying, oh yeah, you can put buildings in your city now where it's a shop on the bottom floor and apartments above it, and I went, ah! Like,
it's fascinating talking to somebody who's like very into this genre. And
yeah.
I know it's a popular genre, it's just not for me, but it's interesting hearing the things that are like exciting, you know.
Yeah, I remember.
But that's awesome.
I remember I was talking to Austin about an expansion pack in The Sims, and I was like, I got this new expansion pack in The Sims. It lets my Sims, like, I had to do laundry now. And Austin, I was talking to Austin about this, and Austin was just like, why? I was like,
yeah,
no, that's
I'm
what
with
I
him.
want.
I agree.
Because think about it this way, man. In The Sims, your character wears the same clothes every day, goes to bed, like switches to pajama, like does a little spin animation. He's in pajamas now, gets into bed, gets up, spin animation in his normal clothes again. And I'm just like, why won't I want my Sim to be wearing different clothes when he wakes up the next morning? That would be more immersive for me. And now that's what it does. Because now when he does his little spin animation, a pile of clothes ends up on the ground next to him.
For the easy price of $29.99.
It was okay. It was $15. Okay, don't get mad at me. I was going through a breakup.
No, I'm
okay?
mad at them. I'm mad at them. I'm not mad at you. It's like, that's crazy that something like that. They're like, you have to pay for this quality of life feature.
Yeah,
like
it's so dumb.
To that like, it's amazing that I think they know the people that like Sims really like Sims, because that's something that maybe people would have gotten away with like 10 years ago, but ever since like everybody got real pissed about microtransactions, they're still there, but everybody has to be a lot more like cautious and subtle about them.
Yeah,
you can't just blatantly be like horse armor, you know, like people get mad. But Sims still just gets away with it like nothing. They're like,
well, not anymore.
Hey, we made a way that you can now skip past the opening cutscene that plays every time you turn on the game, and it takes 10 minutes, but you can skip it now, only $17.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
sons of bitches. You're holding me hostage.
You motherfuckers with all these microtransactions. Now, these are just regular once it goes above $5, it's a transaction.
Yeah, it's not even micro. That's just a transaction.
Yeah.
That's the price of a game that respects you. That's the price of a different game that respects you.
Yeah. I can go on Steam and find entire 20 hours worth of like a new unseen before experience for $10. Like, but yeah. So I'm happy that Life by You and also Paralives, although I think Paralives is going to be a lot longer before that comes out, but I'm still fucking hyped for it. I'm excited for those games because I'm excited for somebody to come and eat EA's lunch. The Sims has gone on with this bullshit for far too long, and finally some people are here. So where if EA's like, hey, you have to pay $10 now so your Sim can it can rain, then I'll be like, you know what? If it rains in Paralives all the time, I'll fucking go there.
Like, you know what, Sims? You got a lot of rain ahead of you. It's gonna be a lot of rainy days for you. I'm out of here.
That's buddy. Right. I'm not the sunshine in your life anymore. Take this ring and go.
You can't do this to me anymore. I found somebody who treats me right. I am excited for you. I'm excited to see. I feel like a good Sims game seems fun to watch too.
Yeah, if
even fun to play. Maybe I'll even get into it.
I was thinking like when the moment Life by You comes out in early access, stream myself playing it, just try and make the most ridiculous shit happen in it that I can.
Sure.
And ruin as many lives as I can, and you know, see what I can do.
I watched a clip on TikTok of somebody who was playing. Apparently, they play a lot of Sims, and they have like a decent following on Twitch. and they play like generationally. So like it's
yeah.
like hardcore mode, but like if everybody dies, it runs over. So they have this like family that's been going on a long time. There's this big graveyard in their backyard with like all the past generations, and she was playing, and all of a sudden lightning struck her graveyard, and all her people ran out there to try to put it out, and they all caught on fire.
Oh my god!
And then like 2 of them died, but then like you're able to bargain with the Grim Reaper to bring them back, and they managed to bring back like 1 of them, and then another one lit on fire again, and then like in the end she was left with like 1
Jesus Christ
person, but she's like the entire family burned alive, like trying to put out the graveyard by.
That's amazing.
And like all these things kept happening. They're trying to call the fire department, but then the only one that was close to the phone was a kid, and the moment he woke up, he turned to an adult, so she had to go through some like setting stuff because he's like a different. I don't know.
Had to assign traits and things like that.
Freaking out. Yeah, exactly. And like as the guy's like dad is burning to death in the graveyard.
That's so funny.
And so like that kind of stuff's fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I love when things go wrong. I've tried very hard to kill my Sims in The Sims 4. It's not as easy to kill your Sims as like they definitely give you a lot of chances, like to not kill your Sim. Like they almost put so many roadblocks in the way that like you have to intentionally want a Sim to, like, aside from I guess that scenario where that was a bit more extreme. Like I've tried to kill Sims before, and it's not easy. Like the game really puts as many like "are you sure" moments in the way.
All you gotta do is take
possible.
the ladder out of the pool, and you're good.
I had my Sim like fixing the fuse box of their apartment building, and like I had them fix it like so many times, or like tinker with it, and they got electrocuted twice. And when you get electrocuted, both like your character's like dazed, and the game's like, hey, you got electrocuted. Maybe you probably shouldn't do that. Maybe learn your repair skill more before you do that again. And I got electrocuted that way like twice. So that's the game twice putting a roadblock in the way of me killing that Sim, being like, are you sure? They will die. And then finally I got it. But it took forever.
Leviathan Den says, I'm excited to watch you stream it. I appreciate how excited and passionate you are over it. Well, yeah, I agree. That's the only reason I'm interested in it, is because I want to see how you play it.
I'm going to have a lot of fun with it.
It'd be fun if you, come up with some kind of like concept to like aim towards, like a goal,
like a challenge
you won't accomplish easily. Last time I watched you play, you had your wedding. During the wedding, you cheated on your wife of 10 minutes with a waitress inside of a dumpster.
Yes.
And then you shit your pants and went home to breed frogs. And like
happened.
The way that you do it is you're just like very like, you're just streaming, so you're like, okay, I'm gonna go home. You don't almost like the context isn't there of like the insane shit you're doing because you're just like been at it for a couple hours.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, I cheated on my wife.
Everything
that
I just said happened in like a matter of like 30 minutes in real time.
It's a lot of fun. That's I think, yeah, because like just the most insane, wild shit will happen, and sometimes it's not even like there by design with a game. Like one of my favorite moments in The Sims was there was this mod that you can download called I don't know what it's called, but you can kill people. It's a murder mod. Like, so you can like, it has like kill them by stabbing them, shoot them, chainsaw them, strangle them, then beat them to death. I think that those are like the 6 options you get for murdering somebody. And you can also turn on make serial killer, so you can like click on somebody and like turn them into a serial killer, so they'll just like randomly murder somebody when they're around if they're like loaded onto the map. So the one time we did that, we made a goal where we had one Sim. We had raised her like we downloaded her off like the gallery, which is where you can like get other people's pre-made Sims and houses and etc. Downloaded this random Sim off the gallery where they started as a teenager, and then we just like raised them and try to make them as successful as possible, and they were like married. And so we were at the gym, and we also decided that they were going to be a serial killer who also kills serial killers.
Give him a dark passenger.
Well, we gave him a dark passenger. So she was a painter, and anytime we gave her a trait where she mostly painted masterpieces, but like once in a while she wouldn't paint a masterpiece. So if she ever didn't paint a masterpiece, we would have her murder somebody to take out her aggression.
It's her muse.
But we also would randomly like turn other people into serial killers, and like we would have her murder them before they killed too many people. Just like a fun way to keep things fresh.
Yeah, that is fun.
And so the one time, and like there's ghosts in The Sims. So like what we found out is that if you murder a serial killer, their ghost is still a serial killer. So we murdered a ghost.
Whoa.
And then we were at the gym with our wife, and then the ghost showed up and then killed our wife.
Oh my god!
This is actually kind of terrifying that there's a ghost that's murdering
murder ghost.
people. Yeah, murder ghost. And that was wild. That was wild. That was wild stuff.
There was a streamer. I should have like sent it to you. I don't know who he was. But there's this guy, and he does these streams of Sims where people send him mods, but he like kind of roulette. Like they're not named what they are.
Oh,
he like roulette picks one, not knowing what he's about to put into his game. And some of the stuff is insane. Like I watched one where all of a sudden the guy pulled out, he's turned on this mod, and he's like, I don't notice anything different for a minute, and then all of a sudden the guy like pulled out 2 Uzis and did like a helicopter motion where he's like going in a circle, and then there's like 4 people around him that were just dead like on the street, and he's like, oh no, and he's like, he tries to play the game normal around like whatever chaotic mod he's just added to the game. And then this person just like murdered like the whole, like everybody standing by.
That's great.
Kind of a nice twist on the game.
Well, that would be a lot easier with Life by You, because Life by You is being designed to be the most mod compatible they can make it. So
sounds great. Maybe I'll play this game. Jeez.
Yeah.
This stream is sponsored by Life by You.
Yeah, for real. Paradox Interactive, thanks. You know, if you want to hit me up. Love, big fan of your games.
It'd be a worthwhile sponsorship, I think.
That would be, for sure.
I mean, you're prepared to advertise them whether they pay you or not.
Fuck yeah.
You have been.
We've been doing it all stream.
Yeah, that's true. So slight change of topic, but not really. You know, a game I'm very excited for, but the potential of me being set up for failure is a lot higher.
What's that?
I'm really excited for Starfield. I like me a Bethesda RPG, even though they're a little buggy and stuff. When one's decent, it just has to be decent. Like Fallout 4 was very playable. You know, the writing wasn't as good and all that, but like I had a great time with that. So like as long as it's like semi works, I'm gonna have a blast with that.
Okay.
I just love that kind of like, despite the issues they have, when they do it right, they capture like that open world sandbox RPG thing in a way that most other developers don't really usually.
There's a reason that they've managed to sell Skyrim over and over for 10 years, you know?
Right. But, you know, they haven't really done their last like couple things haven't been too spectacular. Although they were trying to do stuff they were trying to do something different, you know. They were trying to be online and things like that.
So I'm cautiously optimistic.
Little pass.
Plus,
that's kind of where I'm at. Like, it's possible I'm going to be upset, but I think I'm going to like it a lot.
Plus, I mean, Fallout 76 was developed by ZeniMax. That wasn't even like Bethesda. Those are the people who make Elder Scrolls Online.
All right. Well, there you go. Either way, I'm excited. I'm very hyped for it.
Yeah, me too. I'm cautiously optimistic.
I'm going to enjoy it a lot. Nope, this game's gonna change my life, and I'll never have to play another video game.
You'll never have to play another game. That was the refrain. Never to play another game. So this will satisfy all my urges.
Yeah, you know.
I get it.
Mistakes.
Like we all want. Like I mean, that's what fucking No Man's Sky was supposed to be. It was just like if No Man's Sky delivered on the promises, it would be like the game where it's just like, well, this has everything.
Yeah. This feels like No Man's Sky with a little more money behind it, and RPG elements built in. And so I'm down. I'm down to try it.
I'm interested. I'm curious. I'm excited for Starfield. I'm excited to, you know, this will be a new IP from Bethesda, which means I feel like they're gonna put
Yeah.
a little more behind it than like say Fallout 4. Like Fallout 4 was a finely designed game. You know, for some reason Fallout 4 feels less like it was like a breakthrough than say Fallout 3 felt like.
I think they were trying to do more, or they were trying to do more, but in order to make those systems play cleanly, they ended up doing less. Like in the grand scheme of things,
I think that's
like
fair.
they were like, you can do all this stuff, but in order to to be able to make a computer run it, all the stuff is a little more like sanded down and simple now.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So with Starfield being a new IP, first of all, I hope to God they're moving to a new engine. Like, this is a very non-game developer point of view, but if an engine is like older than 5 years old, like maybe it's time to get a new one. Like,
I don't know. I think they said, so I'd heard talks that there was a new engine, but at the same time, I don't know. There's a few shots in like the Starfield things where there's somebody walking in the background and they're just like.
The classic Bethesda
walk, or like just the like most inhuman looking walk of all time. Just like
yeah.
If there's an obstacle in the way, they just like skate on the floor a few seconds and like turn. Like I don't care. I'm still gonna play the fuck out of it, even if it has that. But it'd be nice if it was prettier.
I'm always
looked a little more.
Yeah, they got the Bethesda look. Like that's the thing is like when you see an open world game made by like say Rockstar. The people in Rockstar games feel so much more part of the world and like physical.
Yeah.
Everything feels so much more physical in a Rockstar game.
Red
and
Dead,
like,
you should play Red Dead at some point.
Yeah, I can.
Because damn that, you should. I really recommend it. That open world, that's like as far as open world games go, that might be the best, in my opinion.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Rockstar.
I think it's the best that there's ever been.
Yeah, every Rockstar game, you can at least say this. Every Rockstar open world game has been an evolution, or at least a step up from the last one. Like they are never, like you never get like Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, and it's like this. It's like a same game, different coat of paint, like Fallout is with like Skyrim or something like that. You know?
Yeah. 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 It definitely almost feels like they start from scratch each time. Like,
yeah.
When the others look like they're like a modded version of the previous game.
Exactly. That's a great way of putting it. So, you know, I'm excited for Starfield. I hope it's like a step, like that's all I'm looking for. Like I'm tired of these games where I'm like, oh, cool, it's the other game just with this aesthetic. Like I'm ready for games to be a step up from the previous one.
Yeah. I mean they should be, but we'll see.
I think I'm just turning into a nostalgic old man, but I miss the days where you'd like open a game and you weren't sure what the gameplay would be like. Like opening up Smash Brothers and for the first time and being like, wait, my health starts at 0? Hold on. I don't beat them to death. I make them fall off to death. What the heck?
You played this for the first time last week, right?
That was me playing Smash Brothers for my first time as a 32-year-old man.
Got it.
Wait
a minute.
The way this camera
I would always start with my health at 0.
I would always start at 0. Like, what? What's the deal? These controls make me want to both.
I know what you mean, but there's like it's kind of hard to, I don't think it's really possible because you kind of have to like pay attention to reviews or else you're just getting like bamboozled all the time.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that older games not having not knowing what the game was going to play like was also a matter of like games just hadn't figured out what the optimal ways of being were. Like, you know, a lot of games are very samey because we do have these conventions that have been found like this works for this genre. If you want an RPG, like this method functions. And I think that is good in a ways because, you know, obviously it helps to have that baseline measurement to like, you know, work with your compass or something like that. But, you know, it's also like I think a lot of games just feel very safe. Not like willing to take risks, so they are like essentially doing, and like people have been saying about this, I'm not the only one who's saying this, like, you know, there's these new MMORPGs that are coming out, and I watch a lot of YouTubers who, you know, are talking about these MMOs, and one person was talking about the Riot Games MMO that's being worked on, and the person who was watching the video of the interview was like, I'm tired of MMOs trying to be World of Warcraft. I want an MMO to be like the next thing. And like no one knows what the next thing is until it's made, and that's the hard part. And then the developers of the Riot MMO said they weren't trying to be a World of Warcraft clone, they were trying to be the next thing. That's what I want to see. I'm tired of games that are like, oh, this is a clone of that game. It's like, no, be the next thing.
Don't try to copy what's popular. Just try to make something that you're passionate about and try to make it good.
Yeah. So obviously that's a pipe dream to ask that everyone do that. Studios do safe bets for a reason.
I think as projects get bigger and bigger, it's harder,
it's harder to
allocate the funds to pull off something like that.
Yeah,
like,
it's harder to sort of
the people who are
advocate
paying for it aren't interested in making a good game.
Yeah, they're money.
Interested in selling a game.
That's why the indie scene is so. That's why I'm so glad that there is a thriving indie scene of video games. Video games especially have had such success having an independent but well funded, well supported by the fans scene. Like
not only the fans but also the specific producers that focus on the like Devolver or there's a whole list of them, but that's like the one that comes to mind first. They're making a lot of money because they're taking those risks and they're backing these creative smaller projects.
Yeah,
I'm sure Devolver's doing great, but
even outside of the realm of Devolver, for instance, I don't think only in video games could Undertale be as big of a success as it was, having no publisher, being made by essentially one guy over the course of, and with some help.
There's a lot of those success stories. 3 years.
There's a lot of those success stories, and
Stardew Valley is the same, and that guy is like in Minecraft. I mean, essentially, just at least starting off.
Yeah.
Now it's a lot of people working on it, and it's $1 billion thing, and it's changed a lot. But I'm just saying, the general idea. And
I don't think that guy had a publisher either. He was able to just put it out, and I think Steam is a big reason to thank for this, their green light function. But Steam, you can publish a game and sell millions of units without having a publisher, without talking to Devolver, without that makes it a lot harder because now you have to develop the entire game on your own. But it's possible. You can do it. It can be done, and that's I don't think you can do that with you have to. If you want people to see your movie, you need a distributor. You're not going to be able to get it in front of eyes, or you have to have a YouTube channel that's already got people, or something. Video games, however, you can come out of literally nowhere, make Vampire Survivors, and be now Vampire Survivors invented genre, and now Vampire Survivors is getting their own anime. It's crazy.
You'll love to see it.
You love to see.
There aren't many other corners of content where people are getting to make the things they love and then be rewarded for it.
Yeah.
Over and over again. Kind of doesn't exist anywhere else, honestly.
It's because the avenues I feel are not there to an extent. But it's interesting because games are so uniquely. I don't know. It's not like people are hurting for access to indie movies and things like that. It's just how do you find the good ones and how do you get enough people? I don't know. For some reason, people who like games are more willing to play the good game that has come out, than I think that people who like movies are willing to all flock to see the good movie that has come out. You know what I mean?
Also, key difference is the requirement to make it. For video games, it's pretty much just time. Movies, you need expensive cameras, you need staff. You can't, unless you're playing every character, you can't be the only one on the payroll,
Yeah.
And you need all this stuff. The price for entry is a lot higher in making movies, even if it's indie low budget. But when it comes to a video game, I mean, you can have a shitty computer. If you're willing to spend a few years, you can make a game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting though, because I would say that for a movie, it's harder to make by yourself, but at the same time, making a game by yourself requires that you have more knowledge in different
True.
things.
True.
But it's still
you need skills that more like different specific learned
areas
skills.
of, yeah. But like a movie, you still like, even if like you say, oh, I shot this movie on my iPhone, you still need the money for an iPhone. Like, sure, you need the money for a computer, but if you're making a movie, you need the money for the iPhone, and then you need the money for a computer to edit the movie. Whereas if you make a game, you need the computer, and then, you know, like what, Godot is free, Blender's free. There's free music making software. Like, you can still make a game for the cost of a computer, whereas a movie is there's going to be one extra expense. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot.
I think
like,
it's also
there's
the
differences
expensive cameras is
between-
also a thing. You can shoot on your phone, but like,
Yeah.
have you ever put on a movie that was like an indie thing and you're like, it's hard to watch just because it's like visually
Yeah.
shit. Even if it was like a great script, like I'm not sure. I would want to say that like I would give it a chance, but also like if I was watching a movie filmed on a phone, I'd probably be taken out from the moment it started.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Like the cameras in iPhones shoot in HD and are good quality, but like if that person's holding the phone with their fucking hand, like or if the audio is being recorded with the iPhone too, like unless they're doing ADR, which ADR almost always looks like shit. Yeah, there's a number of what can we say? This conversation is basically there's a difference between making a game and making a movie. Yeah, we're going in
circles. Good thing we're here to lay this out for everyone.
Welcome to DrawBomb, where we talk. We spend 8 minutes talking about how blue the sky is.
We circle the drain until 10 o'clock.
Right. Speaking of which, it was 9 o'clock at the beginning of this conversation, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to take a break?" It is 9:30 now. Hey, do you want to take a break?
Sure. Let's do it.
All right, we'll take a break so that way my sweaty butt can stand up and like I can stretch my legs for like 2 minutes.
Why is your butt so sweaty?
Dog, I don't know. I wish it wasn't. My butt.
There's some climate in there.
There's a little. My butt is just generating. This gluteus maximus is in maximum overdrive.
Sure.
So yeah.
All right. On that note, we'll be back shortly.
Yeah. There's a button. Whoa! Whoa! We're back. Welcome to DrawBomb, the only show where you can.
Let me know when we're back.
Okay. Oh shit. We're going to be right back. We're back.
Okay.
Okay. Brandon, what did you? I mentioned this briefly. I finished the story for Diabler. I clicked all the demons.
Oh yeah, you did the Diablers.
I think I have a good sense. We can talk about Diablo. Like I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
Let's get into the nitty gritty of it.
I have liked it a lot for what it is. It's like a nice, chill. I don't know the type of game. Action RPG.
They call them action RPGs, which is a very broad term. I feel like, just like video game genres are so amorphously titled.
So is everything. Music titles are like
true.
So like especially these days, there's just like make up a name for everything.
I heard somebody describe the genre of music they make as bubble grunge, which I understood exactly what they meant. Is the fucked up part is like when they said bubble grunge, I was like, oh, so I know what your music probably sounds like, which is
well, that's great if it's intuitive.
That's
but
impressive.
Some of them are not. Some of them are like, this is called soap pants. This is soap pants music, and you're like, well, that doesn't mean anything. But okay, cool. You're just you're gatekeeping, man. You don't want me to be able to talk about music.
Well, it's hard too
Butt
because butt rock cracks me up. That's a genre that people can quantify.
That's a good one. Good one.
That's definitely like you don't make music and call your genre butt rock. Like that's a genre you are put into. Like
Yeah, you don't choose butt rock. Butt rock chooses you.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's interesting because like art, you know, because you know it works best when it's not when it's like in those gray areas where you can't be like, oh, it's this, it's like this, it's I've seen this before. That means that every time like there's something really good that comes out, it's almost like, oh, how do I classify this? Like what? I guess I gotta make a new genre for it. This is bubble grunge.
Right. And I like the idea of that, but I don't know. There's no like rhyme or reason to it.
There's no, well, yeah, I don't think you can put a like, cause like we call one genre of music rock, and we all know what that means, but it's made up. Like
sure. That's a good point. But
it's all gibberish. It's been gibberish.
But look at it like a building block, right? Like start with that.
So rock started with jazz. Which is also a gibberish.
It's not a word. Yeah, you're right. Okay, you're right. Okay, fair.
To be fair though, there's a lot of like classical jazz musicians who did not like the word jazz as their genre. I forget what they would have preferred it be called, but you know, there's a lot of people who like were big in the jazz movement who were just like, I fucking hate the word jazz, and I wish it was called something else. Which I respect that. Like I get it.
Yeah, especially if it was like a word that was like new.
Yeah,
it wouldn't feel like to us. It just to me that's. I mean, it is a word, you know.
Yeah,
but
it is a word. Yeah,
if it wasn't a word, and then you were being described as it, you'd be like, stop calling me that thing that you came up with, you idiots.
Yeah. So it's an interesting thing. So words, we're all society is built on a house of cards made of thoughts.
Sure, I guess that's fair. I guess I'm just complaining about my own insecurities of not knowing what I'm talking about.
Hey, you know what you're talking about. If I think a band is the Trans-Siberian Orchestra,
if you have anything before 1995 that you have questions about, I got you, man. I can tell you the lead singer's name. I can tell you all sorts of things. I can tell you members of the band.
And if you need me to tell you some obscure
but I don't know shit
camp
about what's going on now.
I don't either.
The genre that's known as dad rock. That's what I know.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm not that hip on music either. Like I like to think I'm hip on music, but like I listen to mostly obscure fucking Bandcamp shit, and I once in a while Anthony Fantano tells me to listen to an album, like the most recent album.
You do as he says.
I do. I'm a robot, but I've only listened to like 2. And that he's like the rest. I'm just like, oh, I have a playlist of like songs to check out on my Spotify, but I never get around to it because I'm already listening to my Bandcamp songs.
Sure.
But like the most modern album I've listened to is "Scaring the Hose," which is from this year, so I can say like,
oh yeah,
I'm on the cutting edge.
I thought about listening to that too because I watched his these are my favorite ones so far this year. I'm like, this is a good place to start because I can't keep up. You know, I can't listen to everything that you suggest.
I have listened to "Scaring the Hose." I don't know if I've told you about it.
You like it?
It's great. It's so good.
Okay.
I fucking love that album.
To it.
It's a weird like. Have you ever listened to JPEG Mafia before?
Probably, but I don't know.
He is a hard listen. Let me say that. Sometimes he's made some amazing sounding songs, but like JPEG Mafia's whole thing is like wacky, edgy, like hard, sometimes just straight up hard to listen to. Like he's like known for taking some of the like craziest, most disparate samples and like making them work in a song, and like he makes good music. Like I'm saying, it's hard to listen to. That's not like it's bad music, but like he is going to challenge you like to listen to him.
It's abstract.
It is more abstract.
Is that a fair term?
Yeah, that's fair. I think challenging is a great way to describe him. Like he makes music. He's definitely doing his own thing, and you won't hear anything like it like when you hear it, a JPEG Mafia song, you will be able to be like, that's fucking JPEG Mafia. That's such a JPEG Mafia song. But like, it's challenging to listen to sometimes, and sometimes it's not.
That is some classic JPEG.
Yeah, Anthony Fantano likes
Classic JPEG.
When Anthony Fantano recommends music, he does like challenging music. Like he will give challenging music higher scores.
I don't blame him. I mean, for how much shit he listens, like reviews.
Yeah.
I would lose steam because I'd be like, okay, it all sounds, a lot of it, you know, I mean, it's just the nature of time that at certain times, certain musics are going to be influenced by each other, and also they're going to try to like capitalize on what's popular, and you're going to be listening to a lot of similar things. So I feel like if I were him, I'd be looking for, all right, what's different? Anything different out there? That's what I want to listen to. Yeah,
I've definitely listened to a few of his like like whenever he has an album he particularly likes, he likes to wear a yellow flannel. He has a very specific yellow flannel that he wears for those albums. And if he really, really hates an album, he wears a red flannel, which
that's fun.
He actually that started like he just reviewed like 5 different albums really, really well, but he wore like the same yellow flannel shirt for them, and then somebody in the comments was like, hey, is this like a new thing you're doing? And he was like, oh no, but I should. And so he did.
He's like, it is now.
Yeah, and so the red flannel is for bad reviews, the yellow flannel is for good. So if he wears a yellow flannel, and you can see that in the picture preview, you know it's a good album.
That's fun.
So for a little bit, I was listening to his yellow flannel albums for about a month or so, and like they were good. They were good songs, but they were challenging. Like they were like there was one album called Death's Dynamic Shroud, and their album covered a whole bunch of different genres, and one of them just like went into straight up like horrorcore, like which was
like you were getting spooked over there.
Yeah, it was like the song that like you would hear if like you're watching the killer murder somebody in like a horror movie. Like that was like the
like some rings and some
more dubsteppy, but
okay.
Yeah, it was like not even like on a beat, just like straight up like scary, like I'm gonna die ambience or some shit. I don't know. Anyways, Death's Dynamic Shroud.
Mad Lad Twitch says, "Good evening, lads. Welcome, Mad Lad. Welcome back.
Hey, Mad Lad. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
We appreciate you.
Yeah,
appreciate the hell out of you.
Yeah, we appreciate your appreciation of our appreciating. Yeah.
Zenut says, "Horrorcore sounds like my jam. Actually, might be.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Check out Death's Dynamic Shroud.
A lot of like,
yeah. But yeah, he likes challenging music, so not like he'll review non-challenging music badly. Like if it's just, you know, he's clearly looking for something different.
My room.
And JPEG Mafia is challenging. Scaring the Hose is challenging, but I think Scaring the Hose is, and it's by the way, it's like a collaboration album with Danny Brown. I don't know if you've ever listened to Danny Brown. He's got a very interesting voice for rapping. He's got like a specific delivery that may be your thing. It might not be. I could see it being annoying in some. I like it, but you know.
Okay.
He can have a polarizing sort of delivery for his raps. But yeah, JPEG Mafia makes very challenging music. Sorry to get back to we've done a full circle. We're back to what I was talking about.
Yeah, I mean you're going full circle to explain yourself.
Yeah. But Scaring the Hose is by far his most, I think, what's the word? You know, when something's more digestible by like maybe a more mass appeal. I think Scaring the Hose is his most easy to sort of get into. Like it's a good gateway into JPEG Mafia, if anything.
Okay.
Because like you want to listen.
I was planning on checking it out. I mean, the title alone is already grabs your attention. It's a funny title. And
they just released what they called Scaring the Hose DLC, I think, or something like that. I forget what they called it, but it's like they released 3 or 4 new songs like that are just like more part of the album. Like this, they just like, I forget what they called it exactly, like a booster pack or something. But they just were like, yeah, here's a couple more new songs that we're just calling it part of Scaring the Hose. I haven't like listened. I haven't caught up on like what the full extent of that release is about, but that's cool. I dig that.
Yeah, more of that. More
Yeah.
people do that.
But yeah, Scaring the Host, check it out. Good album. Again, challenging. More challenging than your usual rap music, but that's JPEG Mafia.
Final boss.
I also
of rap
recommend
music.
Final boss of rap music. That's right. I recommend checking out JPEG Mafia in general. He is a very peculiar rapper. He makes some crazy shit. Black Ben Carson is one hell of a one hell of a release. I actually, he's still pretty underground, I would say. JPEG Mafia, like you might not
I've
get a
heard
lot
of him a lot. I just haven't listened to much or any.
Yeah.
Heard the name a lot, I guess, is all I'm trying to say.
My ex, she had a very good, I guess, way of finding like these sort of obscure people who are on the up and up, like especially when it came to like rap music. I would say she had an impressive, because like she was listening to JPEG Mafia. I just like came home from work the one day and she was just like, yeah, check out JPEG Mafia, and I did, and I was like, this is challenging. It was good. It was good, and he was hilarious. I mean,
And here's why it's challenging. Let me explain what I mean when I say challenging. It's challenging music. Challenging.
challenging. What can I say?
Said it all.
Ian's Top Cat should do music streams where he makes up genres. Rat trash.
Ooh. Or the audience gives you a genre, makes up, and then you have to try to create a song using this new made-up genre, whatever that like
So it's
title
like
speaks to you.
sort of like music Gardic phone.
Yeah, like you get a prompt and you're like, okay, what would that sound like? And then you try to
Yeah.
make it.
That would be
I
interesting.
think that'd be fun. Or at least it'd be fun to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'd be fun for you. You might be miserable.
You
You
know
might have
what?
a terrible time.
Here's the funny thing about when
I'm
I make
always
music.
miserable.
That's not a secret, Captain. The interesting. I thought that's what you were going for. It sounds like it took you by surprise. I thought that's the joke you were making.
I wish.
Oh, Mad Lad says appreciation metal. Actually, there is a guy on YouTube who's been doing songs. He's been calling positive metal, where it's like he'll sing like a metal song, but the metal song will be about.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think he made
Dinner
one.
was lovely.
He made one song that was like, tell the people in your life that you love them. You should let people know that you appreciate their existence. And like just kind of like telling you things that are like positive that you can like do in your life to feel better and be like have a better mindset. He's calling it like positive metal, but it's quite fun. Like they're doing well for him, I think, in terms of the algorithm, but like it's like, you know, it's metal, but he's like talking about like his cat and how much he loves his cat, or like how you should take walks. That sounds pretty cool. Yeah. What's his name? I think it's like
Vitamin D is important.
I'm just gonna look him up real quick if it's the guy I'm thinking of, because I have a name in my head.
Xenu says most of my slam metal is about cats. There you go. That seems positive.
Then you'd like this guy. Yeah, Anthony Vincent. 10-second songs on YouTube. I wrote a metal song about my cat. He kind of blew up by he would take one song and then he would do it in the style of like 26 different other bands in like the span of like 5 minutes, and they were usually really impressive. And like he would at least like sound like you could like usually be like, oh, this sounds like that song by that band. But I mean, it was still impressive what he was doing. He was like recontextualizing these songs. Anyways, yeah, he does positive metal. I think they're in his shorts collection. You can check out Anthony Vincent. I'll just post a link on his thing. Yeah, like one right here that he released a little bit ago is called "Don't Vent on Social Media." It's calling it self-care metal.
I like self-care metal. That's fun.
Yeah, it's been doing well for him on the algorithm, I think. But it's funny. It's nice. It's wholesome. I like his channel. I watch his videos. He's good. Yeah, Scaring the Host. Check. I don't know, what were we talking about before? Making up genres, right? We want me to do a stream.
Yeah.
where
Well, you know, I don't know if you'd be into that, but This just sounds like.
Oh yeah, I did have a thing I was gonna say. I'm sorry I've been talking. I'm just yammering so much.
No, we're here to talk. That's what we do.
Please stop me. Save me from myself.
Should we just both be quiet for the whole stream one time?
I mean, I don't want to like. If you have things you want to say, I
say the things I want to say.
Okay. As long as
like we have a conversation every show.
That's what I just want there to be as much give as there is take, you know. We always talk about how like we don't want to be the guy who's cutting the other person off and being that guy, but
nobody wants to be the guy.
Nobody wants to be that fella, the sucking the air out of the room. Well, I'll say my story then. But anytime I set out to like make a song of a specific genre, it doesn't usually end up that way. It usually ends up either being another song like I would normally make, or something different or wacky or something like that. Like there's like when I made that song for the cat video, the funk song, that ended up being how I wanted it to sound. That. Thank you, I appreciate that. That was the result I was going for from the beginning. But some of them are like, I've set out to make a lo-fi song so many times and it always turns into something else.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that way. I just using what I can relate to. I feel that way about drawing a lot of times. You know, you have an idea in your head, and sometimes I have a very clear objective, and so then I'll keep zoning it or like zeroing in until I get there. Yeah. But if I'm just making stuff for fun, it often turns into something else as I'm working on it. And I understand that, you know.
Yeah.
You gotta follow the muse, you know. If you don't want to like just keep focus on your goal, if there's something there that could potentially be better, you want to just be like, all right, let's see where this takes me.
Yeah, I think it is important to follow
in another direction.
Yeah, it is important to follow that muse, because I mean that's where, when you've got like a thing that you're chasing, that's usually where the best stuff probably comes from, I imagine, or at least the most.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
If you're feeling inspired at all, or you're feeling like, ooh, I want to see what happens if I do this specifically, you should listen to that voice, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some fun stuff. At least you get the more like most like your stuff, you know.
Yeah, that is the next thing I was going to say.
It's your subconscious that's guiding you.
That's how you get the thing that you would like when someone looks at it like, oh, Brandon made this, you know. But then it's hard because I do that, I follow the muse, and then I'm like, okay, but I do got to make this lo-fi sound.
Right. Right. Like I said, if you have a clear objective, you gotta focus and zero in on that. But you know, if you're just doing it for fun, you can just see where it takes you.
I mean, I usually will chase the thing, and then I will make the thing I need to make. It's because like I think it's still valuable to chase that thing, and you know I'll have wasted some hours, but it's necessary.
Well, you know, what can you do?
If you don't chase the passion every once in a while, you're gonna burn yourself out.
That's true. Yeah, you gotta make it fun.
Mm-hmm.
Can't all just be for the grind. Speaking of this stuff, I've got this cowboy puppet. His first state is done. Now I'm just working on his second state.
Nice.
So, cowboy done.
Cowboy done again. Basically. As long as one state is done, we don't. You know,
that's what I'm saying. I'm just doing the bonus right now. I'm doing the bonus. Perfect. Area.
Now we just got to get the robot done. What we got to get a puppet for the interview, like the.
Yeah, we got to figure out our segments.
Yeah, we got to figure out our segments. And we got to do the intro.
Yes.
We had an idea for the intro, which I think we had an idea that's a little bit more grandiose than I think we probably want to do, and I do know how we can scale that back.
Okay. Let's talk about that.
And also, you know, I had a thought also, and I'm gonna say it now.
That thought.
The format of show that we are sort of mimicking, generally the intro of the show is in the beginning.
Yeah.
It happens, and then the show happens, but like, you know, we are trying to put these on YouTube, and in YouTube
Right. That's a good point. You don't want to like waste anybody's time because they'll leave.
Yeah. So some people do that by they have a cold open.
Maybe that's what we gotta do, and then we'll slap a little intro in there. Keep it short.
Yeah, short. Maybe the
sweet.
intro just needs to be short and sweet.
Okay. Cool. I'm with
Which
you
would be
on that.
great for us. Save us some time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm on board for that.
All right. So that's a thought I had.
Okay.
And yeah, maybe the intro segment should be short and sweet too. We do have some assets made for it. I don't know. I think what we get the interview, make a real quick intro, finish these puppets, and like robot sketch needs to be done.
Yeah, which I can do.
Okay.
Or we can do fast. I think.
Yeah, I think we can do that pretty fast. Otherwise, we're set.
Yeah, we're very close. We're very close, which I'm glad we're doing these ProgressFests because I want to get that going.
Yeah, absolutely. And then once we shoot the first episode, we do got to start figuring out puppets for the next episode.
Sure.
But that'll be for then.
It's all right.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to.
I think this will be fun.
Yeah, and then we can like I've mentioned many times, and I'll say it again. We can shoot extra footage. Like once we have everyone who's going to be in the episode there, we can do plenty of improv, and then just like if some improv works by itself, and then some of it's like a different subject matter, we can cut that improv, use it as a segment for another episode. Like,
yeah,
that'd be easy.
Yeah, we'll reuse assets a lot. I think
reuse assets, but just like
in a fun way.
Well, I'm just saying like have footage that like from one shooting, like it's like how we filmed 3 episodes of Dungeons and DrawBombs, but like we did it in one recording session.
Yeah.
We can do one recording session, but we can film like some of those, like if we do man on the street interviews, for instance, you can ask one puppet 8 different questions, and then we can use one specific question per episode even, and just
that's
cut
true.
them out, so we'll have.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah, we'll do that for sure.
And like we won't make an entire episode out of like footage from this first recording, maybe because of the sketch format, we'll want to bring in some fresh sketches, but like we can cut some of that extra footage in between the new footage for the so it's like less work we have to do each recording.
I agree. I like where your head's at. Real quick before we break away to our plugs.
Yes.
Leviathan Den says Thunderfuck Gospel. What can you do with that? Maybe like
is that a genre?
That's a genre, I'm sure.
Thunderfuck Gospel. Okay. So I'm thinking like Thunderstruck, like AC/DC. So you kind of you're mixing AC/DC with gospel. So it's like, imagine like when they go,
You need like a Baptist church choir. You need.
Yeah, imagine a Baptist church choir,
an
like
Australian man with a raspy voice.
And like when they're doing the like you have people like going and then the like thunder, instead of the Australian guy, it's the choir going. But so it's like that much, but so you have to go in a slower tempo, but it's still like someone's still shredding but like it's an organ, like a piano organ going.
That just sounds like thunder gospel. How are you gonna make it thunderfuck gospel?
So anytime like they go thunder, they go on the thunder, is the sound of a woman going.
It's like just vaguely sexual.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, we got it. Now we just need to get a choir together.
There we go.
Ian,
Brent,
Do you have anything to plug?
Go check out.
I mean,
we took down
same things to plug, bro.
Yeah, we have the same things to plug. We took down the most recent short because it's going to be in a festival soon, and it's just
Speaking
polite
of,
to make it.
what are these festivals?
Oh yeah, we might as well plug them, folks. If you're out in the LA
Exactly.
area, I don't know who would be, who watches us. I don't know.
Los Angelians. That's who.
Los Angelinos. Make sure you check out the Silver Lake Shorts. It's on the 22nd. Any more info than that, you're gonna have to look it up yourself.
Silver Lake Shorts.
Silver Lake
Also,
Shorts.
if you're in the Michigan area or the PA area, check
Peoria?
out Short
Peoria is also in
Fest.
California.
No,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Now I am.
it's okay.
Or
I believe the Michigan one is on the 20th.
that's correct.
So that's coming up 3 days.
At the Capri
and
Drive-In.
And then the PA one is when?
The
You
21st. It's in Pittsburgh, PA, at the something Plaza. I just finished. I just edited these promos, so.
Right.
It's the something Plaza. That's in Pittsburgh on the 21st, and then on the 22nd, it's at McGee's Tavern in Philadelphia, PA. Technically, it's in Prospect Park, PA. It's like sort of in the Philadelphia area.
But
And that's on
great
the 22nd.
film festival, and we have some stuff there, so
We have some stuff there.
check that out.
There's
Not
going to be
necessarily
some.
for us, but for all the other quality content.
There's going to be some animations shown by people you know. There's going to be some animations shown by people you don't know. The creator of Courage the Cowardly Dog has a short that they have put into the festival.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Trauma Films is sponsoring it.
Wow.
So you can
That's
get
pretty
some
awesome.
Trauma merch. Cool Man Coffee Dan has a short that is in the festival, I believe. I don't know if you've heard of Cool Man Coffee Dan.
I haven't, but I would love to.
Now you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn today.
I'm ready to learn.
So yeah, Short Festival, that's happening. Other than that, folks, check out Empty Head Buffet, what is available currently on YouTube. Check them out. Check out the other DrawBomb videos we have done. They are great. And I'm not saying that because I made them. I'm saying that because I had to edit them. And
Because he made them twice.
I made them twice. And watch them more than you ever will. And also fucking listen to my music on Spotify, because Spotify gives me a fraction of a penny for every song that you listen to, and I have at least 60 songs for you to listen to. So if you listen to all 60 of them, I might get half of a
He
penny.
gets 1 penny. Half a penny, okay.
So
Yeah, I mean, check us out on all our other social media that if you use those sites, I don't recommend that you do, but if you do, check us out on all the things.
Yeah.
TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, the rest. We aren't on Threads yet. But, oh man, we're gonna be there any day now. New social media site. Whoa, that's Manifest Destiny. It's fresh ground. Excited to get out there and create some new trauma and just
create
bad energy
another
all around.
website to doom scroll on.
Exactly.
Thanks
everybody.
The amount
sorry,
of
go
people the amount of like people I see who are posting like their like screenshots of their new Threads page, and they're like, hey, I'm on Threads now. It feels like when like that footage of like lemmings going off of a cliff, you're just like,
well, most people have to play the game,
I know I'd
Sucks,
probably be more
but-
successful if I played the game better, but oh god,
I hate the game, man.
I'm
Hate the
so
game.
physically exhausted from social media. Tired of it.
On that note, well, thanks for watching us on this social media
I
site,
want to
Twitch.
die.
Thanks, Leviathan Dead. See you, Newt. Mad lad.
End me from this torment of social media websites.
We love you, folks.
Billionaires
thanks for coming out.
crafting the public sphere. Sorry.
We need to feed Bezos.
Gotta get those Bezo bucks. I'm sorry. I don't mean to end this on a downer, you guys. I had a couple uppers. I had a couple downers. Something
pills.
Pills.
Anyways, on that note, thanks for watching this fun. I like this. I do like that song.
Eminem's verse on it was so funny. The part was like,
something.
I can't describe the vibe I get when I drive at 5, 6 people in 5 I hit or something like that.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Anyways.
He goes through a lot of phases.
Yeah.
Where he's like, hey, it's comedy, it's silly, and then he's just like, oh God, I'm depressed.
Yeah.
And then he's like, nah, I'm very serious.
I miss Eminem being funny. Like his new shit's so serious.
Yeah.
He's always like, I'm so angry. What if I was
all like
angry?
His albums are about previous albums. It's like it's meta
yeah,
in the Eminem verse.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go. Fucking.
All right. Yeah, what are we doing? Let's get out of here.
Bye.
The show's over. Bye. Why are you still here?
No way.
Why are you guys still here? Get out of here.
Get out of here. Ferris Bueller
Can't you see
ending where
we're
I'm in the
done?
bathrobe and like, you know, I'm like, get out of here.
We should